Topic of this video and associated handout is structure searches with input from ChemSketch. It's part of my free NIST GCMS software lab for universities. It will include using ACD to create or modify structures. You can send them to the NIST 26 search software via the Windows clipboard. You can send them to the MS Interpreter via the Windows clipboard. The basic ACD ChemSketch training I'll leave that up to others via YouTube's. I'll show you some basics, but if you want to learn how to use it, there's some excellent YouTube videos out there. ChemSketch is free for non-commercial and educational purposes, which should include most of you. But if you happen to be a commercial user and you're using it for commercial purposes, there is a free mass spec calculator professional for commercial users, and it's in my resources. Here is a figure that I created with ChatGPT for my prompt, and I think you might find it useful, so I won't go through it, but you can come back and review it if you like. There's a lot of different tips here, and also I show the instructional video link for one of them, but if you search for ACD ChemSketch tutorials, you'll find a bunch of different ones that you would find very useful in learning how to use the ACD software. Now I want to demonstrate software interaction with ACD drawing program. So I'll pick this peak here, and I'll go down to the bottom and select it, left click on it. I'll right click and say library search. I need to get it to the library search window that interacts with ACD. So you can see again, it's the best hit here. Now to send it to ChemSketch, I right click on it and say send to default structure editor. Hopefully you set that up properly when you installed the ACD software to relate the mole files and associated files that anytime it sees them in the clipboard that it opens the right application. If not, you might have to take a closer look at that. So I sent it over. It automatically opens up the ACD ChemSketch thing. It says it's taking a couple of seconds to get set up. And now we've opened it. I'll say OK to that. It also opens another window that's on my other terminal, and I'll just cancel out of that. So here we have the structure. The thing I don't like about this is these little oxidation state numbers that the NIST search sends initially until you fix that. So I'm going up here where it says select, move, circle it, to highlight it. I'm up to options and say set structure style, and I like normal, it's good. Say yes, and that fixes that. So here we have our structure. If we wanted to send it back to the NIST search, I'll show you how to do that. But I really wanted to make a point. A lot of times when you want to draw something, find something that's already there so you don't have to draw it from scratch. I want to go find all the dichlorobenzene isomers, the 1,4, so I get rid of that to modify it, and then I circle it. You have to select it, and when you select the structure, because you might have more than one thing, like I've got a methane there, but I just want to select this. And then I say edit and copy. And that puts it in the Windows clipboard. So it is there. So I'll minimize this window, go over here and say right clicking in this top window up here, which is our spec list, but it also takes structures, and say insert clipboard structure. It'll open this window to show you what it's going to import. And I say, okay, now I have it here. Now I can do a structure search if I want to instead of a library search. As you can see, this is a little different looking up here. There's no spectrum, just a structure. So I need to make sure I'm searching the correct libraries. So I go over back up here to where it says library search options. Click on it. I go back to the libraries. Before we set up the libraries to do spectra searches, you need to come down here and change this little pull down menu to say structure search. I'd already done this before, but I needed to make sure all of these libraries were installed in the bottom. So it's going to search all the structures that happen to be in there. As you'll note, there are only 35,834 structures in here in the 6 libraries, and there are 60,000 approximately spectra in here. So every spectrum does not have a structure, but you can still search those that have structures by structure. So I'll say OK to this and go back out. And now I'll click on the entry that just has the structure, no spectrum, and click on the little thing that looks like the structure search. So it's like a little 3-membered ring to me, and click on it. and it's searched, and you can see it rates things by the fit. So the 1,4-chlorobenzene was 1,000 fit. So you can step through these. I've put my left cursor on it and got the top one. Now I'm just going to step through them and see what kinds of things are there. And you're getting lots of different spectra for the dichloro, but you're also getting the 1,2-chloro, 1,3. So in a lot of cases, you get a lot of things you don't want. And it's just falling off in the dot product, the fit, trichloro, on further down. It'll have a lot of different things. So that might be useful if you want to see the similar things that fragment. But if you want to see the exact things that fragment, then you need to go with a different approach. So we'll go back up here and we'll go to Library Search Options, click on it, go to Search, and click on Inchy Key. Inchy Key is an ASCII representation of structure used by NIST, and so this will limit things that only look much like the 1,4. So we'll say, okay, you can't click on this structure search here. You have to go down to the entry that you want, and you double click on it very fast. And now look, it's gone down to just a very few things. So we're putting my cursor on the first one, using the keypad, the arrows to step through them. And you can see that I have just the 1,4. So it greatly simplified the thing if you're just interested in what the spectra of that particular isomer look like. Good to turn this back off when you're not using it because you might forget you have it on and it will cause other problems. Just say go back to the default and say OK. That's a good way to leave it for your next search. So I want to show you one last thing here. I want to show you how this interacts with MS Interpreter. So I want to modify this. So click this single bond here. I put me a nice single bond here, put a methyl there. But I'll go change that to a chlorine by picking chlorine over here. Might be a little crooked there, so I'll select the whole thing. Then I can come up to Tools and say Clean Structure, or you could have typed F9. That just straightens out all your double bonds. Rotated them a little bit, but that's okay. So we have what we want now, so I'll circle it to select it, and I need to put it in the Windows clipboard. I copied it. So now we can minimize this window, and we'll go back to the chromatogram tab. Before, there is no, if you right-click here, there's no send to structure editor, so you can't send things that way. But you can go up to the top here. You can see the bottom is what we want. Let's go back and get it here. It's the is an isomer of trichlorobenzene. And we can send it if you can't right click here and say send to MS Interpreter, but you can go over here to left click here, get in this window that has the description of the spectrum ASCII wise, and right click there and say send to MS Interpreter. And you get the nice display we got before. It's not surprising. But what if we go to the top one? Again, you can't left click here and send it. You have to left click within the ASCII information that goes along with the file, then say send to MS Interpreter. And now we have the spectrum, but it no longer has the structure. So if we were proposing this from our own, to say, pretend like we're proposing what it is, we'd want to put our structure with it. Well, we got our structure over that we did in the ACD. We put it in the Windows clipboard. So you need to click here where it says no structure. I need to get in that window and then say edit, paste, and it'll still be there. And now we have the isomer here and we have our interpretation that we wanted. So I've shown you two different ways. There's a lot of things you can do with structures, but in general, you can send any structure that you could find in the lib search over ACD, modify it, or do whatever you want to, and then bring it back. And then you can search by structure. You can search by exact structure. It gets rid of some possibilities using the Inchy key, but be sure to change that back when you get through with it. You can go to the chromatogram tab and then send things over there, anything you want to there, to MS Interpreter directly to have it look at the structure. If you do it in the bottom window where it has the library identity, but if you go to the top where it doesn't have one, you can send your spectrum over and you can go propose your own structure for it in ACD, copy it in the clipboard, and put it back in. So I hope you found this helpful. Good day.